What's up, guys? Welcome back to PBnJ. I'm here with Brian and Patrick again, and today we're going to talk about some comics that we think are worth looking into as good investments. In our last video, we kind of mentioned that we had some comics picked out, that we had some on our mind that we think you guys would be worth looking into, and if you're looking to buy something that might go up in value relatively soon. So we wanted to do this video with it's probably our first set of comics, I would say. We have a whole bunch that we like, but we pulled a couple aside that we think are going to be worth getting pretty quick, if to be honest. And we'll talk about them right now. So what's up, guys?
Hey, what's up? How you guys doing today?
Hey,
So Patrick had one that he wanted to talk about that he really likes. So Patrick, which comic do you think our listeners should get into?
Oh, there are a lot of them that I had to choose from, but the one that I finally decided on was the Savage She-Hulk #1, which came out in February of 1980. What do you guys think about that one?
I like that pick. When we were making these lists up, I actually forgot about that one. And when you text me, "Hey, what about She-Hulk?" I was like, "Oh man, should have thought of that one." I like that one though.
Yeah, that one, if you guys don't know, it's the first appearance in the origin of the She-Hulk. It's one of the last superheroes, major superheroes that was created by Stan Lee. And it's an interesting backstory. The reason why he created the She-Hulk was because at the time the Incredible Hulk was on TV in a series, and he was afraid that they would produce another series based off of a female character. So before they could do that, he created the She-Hulk, so he could retain the property rights of all the Hulks that are out there.
And
So
you
it's
said
pretty
and you said that he was worried because of what they did with $6 Million Man, right?
right. So with the $6 Million Man, they made the spin-off the Bionic Woman back then. So that's what he was afraid that was going to happen with the Incredible Hulk. So he jumped on that right away. Now there is something interesting about this also. One of the reasons that I like this comic is she's a really strong female character. She has all the attributes like that the modern woman would love to have. Um, I love her character. I love everything about her. She's funny, right? Didn't you? We were talking earlier. What were you saying, that she's like the first Deadpool?
Yeah, she was breaking the fourth wall in the 80s and 90s, well before Deadpool was doing it. She was talking to the readers. Her books were super funny. They were like, she was a comedic character. I mean, she was still, a superhero and stuff. She was on the Avengers and the Fantastic Four for a little bit. But yeah, her comics were super funny, broke the fourth wall, super meta, well before Deadpool was. So that's what I always liked about her comics. That they were always, they were always humorous.
Now it's interesting of her origin story is she was an attorney and she was shot by the mob, and there was nobody that had her blood type. So her cousin Bruce Banner gave her some of his blood, and that's how she became the She-Hulk. So I think that it's a pretty cool origin story, and it's relatively inexpensive. You can pick up a CGC 9.8 for under $500, right around the $400 to $450 range. And I don't know if many people know this, but in 2022, sometime in 2022, there's going to be a She-Hulk series that's going to premiere on Disney Plus. So before that happens, I think it's a good idea for you guys out there to pick up one of these. I'm looking at getting one myself.
Yeah, we mentioned this briefly, and I think in our first video that when we're making these comic recommendations, most of them are probably going to be Marvel, because of the movies and the cinematic universe is growing with these Disney Plus shows that are all going to be attached and stuff. Um, so, and those movies have a direct impact on these comics. We were talking earlier about Black Panther, how his first appearance almost tripled in value after his movie came out and did well. So We'll get. I mean, in future episodes, we'll have DC characters and Image or DC Comics, Image Comics. We'll have more of those, but a vast majority right now will probably be mainly Marvel movies. So just as a heads up, and I think personally, I think the Disney Plus show is gonna be really good. They're putting a lot of talent behind it. They got like their head writer is someone from Rick and Morty. I don't know if you guys have watched that show.
Yeah, I have.
Um, yeah, so the showrunner. I don't know if she's the showrunner, but she's definitely the head writer for the series. Is from Rick and Morty, and that actually made me happy because that means that they're going to keep the comedic element from the comics. So that was cool. Um, and as of right now, I just saw an update, just like yesterday. All the scripts are done. The show scripts are done, good to go. Now they just need to shoot. Can't right now, obviously, but once everything gets up and going in the next couple of months, they'll get on that one.
Have they casted Allison Brie, or is that still not confirmed?
Not confirmed. That's still the rumor right now.
Okay. Yeah, I
I
saw a
think,
video. Just really quick, like I saw a video of her on, I think the Late Late Show, and she was joking about like that Marvel's casting someone like Allison Brie. So
yeah,
she was just joking about that the whole time, but she never confirmed that
she did
she
confirm it.
got the role.
Yeah, I think she'd be great. I think she'd be perfect for it.
Yeah, I
It's
think
keeping
so.
with, yeah. She's a comedy or not a comedy. She's a comedic actress. It's right up her alley. So we were actually joking before, a couple months ago that she'd probably make their debut at Comic Con. But since there's no Comic Con this year, we'll just have to wait for them to announce it. But yeah, I think Patrick, I think this is a good pick. I think Savage She-Hulk #1 is the way to go, and it's like you said, it's relatively cheap right now.
Yeah, what you checked in Black Panther? What was Black Panther before the movie came out? I think the
His
9.2 was like 2,000.
Yeah, 9.2 was $2,500. And then now the 9.2 is 8,000. So
Yeah, and that was in 2016.
that's only 4 years ago. So
Yeah,
that
that's the
one,
power and impact of a movie.
yeah. Once the general public find learns about these characters, they want to go back. And collectors especially, you want to go back and get them. And
Yeah,
and then Patrick was saying earlier that this book, there's a lot out there. How many 9.8s are there?
I think there's like 20, close to 2,100. That's CGC alone.
Yeah, so you can get this book. You can go out and get it pretty. I don't want to say easily, but it's available. It's not like trying to find, Amazing Fantasy 15 or Detective Comics 27. Those are just hard to find. These are out there. You can go get them, and I would recommend getting them, before the show, which is at 2022. Now, and then another one that actually the people should get this one. I think they should jump on this one really quick because uh, the movie comes out in May, and that is the first appearance of Carnage
Oh, that's a good one.
in
Yep.
Amazing Spider-Man 361. The first Carnage, a 9.2 right now is sitting at about $55, so very affordable. And again, it's because of the movie. Venom 2 comes out in May. It was supposed to come out in October this year. It got pushed off to May. Um, and he'll be played by um, Woody Harrelson.
Oh, very
So
cool.
yeah, so it's not like just some random actor. It's a big name. Venom, even though the movie Venom isn't that good, especially when you can compare it to the Marvel stuff, it did really really well. It made a lot of money at the box office. Um, but mainly because of Tom Hardy, he made that movie watchable. Like you can tell he was having a good time making that movie, and Woody Harrelson appeared at the in the post credits. Um, I don't think. I mean, if people didn't know, if they're not fans of the comics, they don't know what that was. Um, but that was Carnage. That was Cletus Cassidy. So that was his cameo appearance, and his full appearance will be in Venom 2.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that one myself. You know that comic book. If you want to get a really high grade copy, they're going right around $400 again. I mean, there are a lot of them out there. There's over 4,000 out there, but that's not a bad price because, like John said, I think that one's actually going to blow up. big time when the movie comes out, especially if it turns out well.
Yeah, yeah. They got a new director. They got brought in. Andy Serkis is directing this time. Tom Hardy actually wasn't. I don't want to say he wasn't happy with the first one, but he knew it could be better. They brought in a new director and all that stuff. Tom Hardy's really passionate about it. He loves the character, and I think Woody Harrelson's gonna have a good time with it. I think he's perfect for Cletus. And I mean, looking right now, I'm looking at a 9.6 on eBay, sold just a few weeks ago for $76.
Wow.
Yeah, not bad.
Yeah, so I think this one right now is it's affordable. It's worth getting. I think there's a lot out there, and get it before next. So we got a year. You got 12 months. You have a clock. Get it before May of next year. Before I mean, if that movie does really well, this comic is gonna go really. It's gonna jump because Woody Harrelson is really, really good. I think he can knock this character out of the park.
And you know what's interesting? What you said is you said that a couple of weeks ago they sold on eBay, right? It was a 9.6 for, what did you say, $73?
Yeah.
Now, just imagine how good of a price that is. Because if you get an unslabbed book that is in the category of like 9.2 to 9.6 or 9.8, you're going to have to pay between $50 to $100 unslabbed for it. But then if you send it to CGC with postage and handling, and even though it's a modern comic, it's still going to run you about $60. So if you subtract $60 for 73, that comic actually cost you only $13. So that guy got a great deal.
Yeah, it's just it's funny because I've had this comic since I was a kid. I've had it forever, just sitting, and it was always around like $20, $30, $40, and then once all of a sudden the Venom movie comes out and boom, it's up to 40, it's up to 50, it's up to 60. So luckily I bought this when I was a kid, so I don't have to run out and get it. But it could finally pay off. It only took 30 years.
That's it, just 30 years. It's all
just
good.
30 years. 30 years I made a profit. It's pretty funny. A lot of the comics I've been sitting on for almost 30 years, they're starting to pay off. Yeah, again, because of the movies.
You don't even know.
Yeah, there's stuff in there I don't even know. There's stuff I forgot. I was looking and be like, oh shit, I forgot I have this. I know it. I mean, I've done it before. I've looked. Oh, I didn't even know I bought this. Cool. But I do remember buying Carnage because at the time. Oh man, how old was I? What year did this come out? Let's see. I mean, 1992. So I was 9 years old.
Wow.
And
what condition is it in?
Oh, it's in good condition. I took care of it.
Dude,
Even
at
though,
9?
huh?
At 9.
Oh yeah, at 9 years old, I boarded them, bagged them, and I put them away.
What?
Yeah.
That's rare.
Yeah, I knew what I was doing back then. Not pat myself on the back, but I always took care of them. I didn't just throw them aside. I put them in the bag, and really it's because of my dad. He's the one that told me what to do. He bought comics when he was a kid, and he didn't take care of his comics, and that's one of his biggest regrets.
Ah.
He says that he knows for a fact he had Fantastic Four #1.
Really?
Yeah, he knows he had it when he was a kid.
Man.
And it's in the trash. When in the trash, his mom cleaned his room, threw it out. He had Fantastic Four, Green Lantern, and Shazam.
What?
Yeah.
Ooh, those are expensive, man.
Yeah, those are. And he said he didn't know. They're all jacked up just in his room, and his mom threw them away. But he knows for a fact he had Fantastic Four. He had like Fantastic Four probably like issue 1 through like 6, something like that.
Yeah, and so that would be the first appearance in Origin and Doctor Doom on top of it.
Yeah, he had them.
Wow.
So when those came out, he was a kid. He was little too, 6, 7 years old. So he just read them and he just, oh, these are cool, and he jacked them up and mom threw them away.
Hey, totally understandable. When I was a kid, I had those Star Wars cards. I put my initials on them to distinguish them from my brother's cards. He knew what he was doing. He was a year older. He was all, why don't you put your initials on yours? That way you know which ones are yours, and I'll keep mine clean.
And then, and you're just a little brother like, okay.
Yep. Yeah, but no, that Carnage, that first appearance of Carnage, I think that's a great pick.
Yeah, and like I
that
said, yeah, so you guys got a year. You got 1 year, so that's a good time to jump out and grab a few if you can.
Yeah, so I got into comics like right after he came out because like when I started getting Spider-Man, it was the story with the doppelganger.
Oh yeah, Maximum Carnage.
Yeah, Maximum Carnage. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, that was a huge deal. That was like a year-long story.
I have all of them, but there's nothing significant with those stories.
Nah, they were just really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was no first appearances. There wasn't anything like that. Yeah, that was like a year or two after he debuted. And what's funny was I didn't really like Carnage when I was a kid, because he was just like this random serial killer dude. You know, he would just kill people for no reason.
Right.
So I was like, that's dumb. Like he doesn't have a motivation. He's not like Venom, right? Venom feels that he was wronged by Spider-Man and stuff. Carnage was just a serial killer, crazy guy, and I was like, I don't like that motivation. I was like, that's so I really wasn't a fan.
Is that
Growing up,
crazy or what? You're like 9 years old and you're like, I don't really like that motivation.
yeah. I know. I was like, he's just killing just for no reason. I think Venom's an anti-hero. Yeah, 9 years old. So but yeah, so I wasn't a huge fan. But over the years, they've developed his character to more of like he's like an agent of chaos. The reason he kills is because he's freeing people from the pain of living stuff. You know what I mean? Like, so he kind of became more like kind of like the guy from Seven.
Right.
Yeah, he kind of became a little more like that, and I was like, okay, I'm buying this now. But as a kid though, I didn't really like him. Speaking of Spider-Man, we had one more from you, right, Patrick?
Yeah, there's one more, and it would be Ultimate Fallout #4. A lot of you probably are familiar with this one. It's the first appearance of Miles Morales, and you may have seen him Into the Spider-Verse, the movie Into the Spider-Verse. It was a great movie.
Yeah, I loved it.
Yeah, that one right now, I think that's going to be in the MCU probably relatively soon. What do you think?
I think they're getting ready for it. Definitely. He's in the Spider-Verse. In the comics, they made him a pretty prominent character. And then last year in the Spider-Man video game on PlayStation, was that last year, Brian, or was it the year before?
It might have been last year. I mean, it feels like it was last year.
Yeah.
How was it? How's the game? Is it good?
It was good.
Yeah, the game was really good, and he was a prominent character in that one, and they're working on part 2 right now, and he's going to be in that one as well. So they're really pushing him. Well, not I don't want to say pushing him, but they're really making him visible. So I would not be surprised in 4 or 5 years he ends up in the MCU.
When do you think that the sequel is going to hit theaters?
Ooh, I don't know. What the Spider-Verse?
Yeah.
Let me do a quick check. I don't know.
While he's checking, I have a question. So I was looking at the comic on eBay, and I see 2 versions. So one is the Ultimate Fallout with like the text is covering his head, and then I see another version of the same cover where you can see his head.
Right.
Yes.
So do you know the difference? The difference is there's a first and a second print.
Yeah.
The first print is the one where it's covering his head and you do not see his face. That is the first print. Okay. Anything after that would be a second.
Yeah, the ink and the drawing looks a little bit different too.
Yeah, a little darker, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for everybody listening and watching out there, definitely try to get the first print versions of these.
Yeah, you don't want the second. They drop in value drastically, almost to being worth nothing.
Right, but it's weird because I was looking at eBay and some people seem to think that the second prints are worth a lot. Right. Don't get those. Don't buy those.
Right. It's being bidded on almost as much as the first print.
Right. But don't fall into that trap because it's really not worth it to get that second print. Get the first print.
I just looked. It's April 8th, 2022, but that was before all the shutdown.
Right.
So that's still a ways off. It's 2 years, so I'm pretty sure it'll be okay. Uh, but yeah, so you probably want to grab this comic, before that comes out because his profile is just going to keep going up.
I like it.
And are there a lot still available? Did you see the number?
In CGCs, I think 9.8 there are over 1,700. 9.6s there are over 1,300, and 9.4s there are over 600. So out of the three comics, that one has the lowest total CGC numbers at just over 5,500 total CGC, and then She-Hulk comes in second place with just under 7,000. Those numbers may have changed by now, but then Carnage has over 15,000.
Yeah, that's the benefit of being published in 1992. When they used to publish so much comics. Luckily, it doesn't seem to be hurting his value. His value seems to be slowly climbing. So
yeah, but these are our three picks, and I think you'll do well if you get these.
yeah, I think these are affordable. You can get them without breaking the bank. The value we think is going to go up, especially when these movies come out in this Disney Plus show. There's one more that I wanted. It's an honorable mention. The reason why it's an honorable mention because this one is expensive. We don't expect a lot of people to run out and get it because of the price, and that is Marvel. Special Marvel Edition 15, which is the first appearance of Shang-Chi, the Master of Kung Fu. This one, the movie is coming out next year. May. Actually, it's in May. You know what? I messed up. Venom 2 comes out in June. This one comes out in May. So you have a little more time on the Carnage. You have until June. Shang-Chi is I think going to be huge. It's the first Asian Marvel character in the cinematic universe, and it's being directed, written, produced by all Asian Americans. It's an Asian American cast and crew, and I think is awesome. And China has become such a huge part of the box office. It's almost like half the money comes from China, and I think this guy's gonna crush it in China. I grew up on Bruce Lee. Me and Patrick were saying we all grew up on Bruce Lee stuff. Everyone here loves Bruce Lee, and I think this is gonna be the closest thing to it. Just crazy martial arts in the Marvel universe, and I think he's gonna be huge. Patrick, you looked at his first appearance. How much was it?
They're up there. Let's see. That was Special Marvel Edition 15.
Yeah.
There's a 9.8 going for 7,000 right now.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. But I think once that movie comes out, it's gonna double easily. I'm looking at a 9.2 is about 900 right now. Yeah. So it's pricey. That's why this didn't make it to our main list of comics. But I think investing in this one's gonna come back. It's gonna pay up big time.
Okay, pure speculation here. Would you rather get the first three or one of these?
That's good.
Yeah, that's a good question.
That's a good question. That one just depends on She-Hulk. How much is that going to blow up? If you think that one's going to blow up big time, then probably safer to go that way. But if it's not going, if you don't think so, then I would pull my money into Shang-Chi.
Okay, that's fair.
It's like going in on one of them, or like diversifying and getting three, and have the other two carry the third one or something to bring up its value, like your profits.
Yeah, and this one is it's going to be, this one's going to pay off the soonest too. The movie's coming out, in May of next year, and that's when you see the value jump, especially if it's good, especially the movie's awesome, which I think it will be. Oh wait, no, I messed up. No, yeah, it is. It is May. Okay. Um, yeah. So this one, I think the value will just jump immediately. Whereas the other ones, like Miles Morales, Spider Verse doesn't come out for another 2 years. She Hulk's another 2 years. So you have to sit and wait on those. This one can see like immediate growth.
Well, technically speaking, though, whether you buy the first three or this 9.2 for $1,000, aren't these comics technically free because we all get a stimulus? So it's money that we didn't have before. So really, these comics are free.
As long as you don't have to pay rent, I guess.
Or food, or
Oh, that's true. Never mind.
Yeah. So yeah, so this is our first batch of comics to buy right now, solely for investment purposes on these ones. So we'll do other episodes about comics buying just for fun, just comics that we want just because they're our favorite characters or a favorite cover or something. But this one's purely just looking at profit wise. I don't know. I think these are pretty good. I don't think you can go wrong with any of these, and they're, other than Shang-Chi, they're pretty affordable.
Yeah. So Pat, I have a question for you. I know you mentioned this last time, but is it really worth, like, for the modern age comics, like, is it really worth it? Like, if you can just go for the 9.8, or is it okay to just go for 9.6? That's more in like people's price range. Because like the 9.6 to 9.8 is more than double in some cases.
That's a difficult, question to really answer. The problem is because of the modern, there are so many that are available.
Right.
They're just too common in the lower grade, so the higher the grade, the better. It's just that they're so expensive right now. The only thing that I would suggest is, well, on these comics that we're talking about, yeah, get 9.8s, except for the Shang-Chi model, that comic. The other ones definitely get 9.8. I mean, it's only $400. I mean, to some of you guys, you might think that $400 is a lot, but once that movie comes out, that 9.8 is going to shoot up way high, kind of like Black Panther did. When you look at the 9.2s or the 9.4s, it's only like $100 to $150 less. It's not worth it. Spend the extra $150 and get the 9.8. Now, if you look at the Masters of Kung Fu, who's really got like $7,000, to spend on a comic? That's not too affordable. I mean, you can get the ones that are under 1,000 probably. You can get that 9.2 that John was talking about. That might be affordable. But for the other three comics, $400 a piece for a 9.8, those are the ones to get.
Yeah, I think we got ours out there, and we'll be doing this again. I like talking about this. This is pretty fun. We'll be doing these. Like Patrick said, he has a list of more to get. I have a list of more to get. I'm sure Brian does too. So stay tuned for those. And unless we got anything else, I think we can sign off, right, guys?
Yep. I think that's it.
All right. Well, some more comics to buy, and then we'll just more just general comic stuff. So stay tuned, and we'll see you guys later.